There is a well-told parable about a small Christian village located by a broad river. One day, as the people in that village were busy doing their various tasks, a body floated down the river. When they saw it, they retrieved it and gave it a reverent burial. The next day, another body floated down the river, and they did the same. As the days passed, more and more kept floating down the river. Soon, some wounded people began floating down the river, clinging on debris. So they brought them to the hospital, and in time provided training for those who had been wounded so that they could soon earn a good living. After a while, this community decided to call a meeting to see if there was anything more that they could do. A few suggestions were brought up, but before they were ready to dismiss the meeting, a young woman raised her hand and said, "I know we are doing a very good job caring for the dead and wounded, but don't you think we should send some people up and find out what's happening up the river?" That small Christian village is like many of us. We reach out when someone loses a loved one in an untimely or tragic way. We are there for each other when we are facing illness. We donate food to the hungry. We are good with charity, but we often struggle with finding out why people are coming down the river. Could the tragedy have been prevented? Could the illness have been prevented? Why is food not available? We struggle at times with justice. The great story we just heard from the Gospel of Luke, Jesus comes to the synagogue at Nazareth and presents his mission statement, the purpose of his ministry. He does not say that he plans to teach people to pray, although in fact he does. He does not say that people should love one another, although he certainly believes that we should. Instead, Jesus finds a passage from the prophet Isaiah, which says that he is called to proclaim good news to the poor, liberty to captives, sight to the blind, and to set those who are oppressed free. Jesus' mission is about justice, about going up the river, discovering the structures that oppress and marginalize, and to offer freedom. Doing justice is not always easy, but it starts in three simple ways: to learn, to pray, and then to act. We should learn what the issues are in our community and pray for those who are afflicted, asking what God is calling us to do. When we see an opportunity, we act. We get involved as we are able. We write a letter or email. We make a phone call. We talk to a neighbor or a family member. We make a contribution. We do something that is really going to help. This is what justice calls us to do. Though justice is not easy, it is not optional for those who follow Jesus. For Jesus calls us to go up the river and to make a difference through our prayers and our actions. To love one another requires both charity and justice. This is what it means to be a member of Christ's body. This is how we truly rejoice in the Lord.